Hello guys, how are you?
I'm Hardeep Singh. Welcome back to your own YouTube channel. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test, and speaking, you got guesswork. Please, guys, participate in everyday listening and reading practice test to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Press the bell icon for the upcoming notifications. Don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams.
Part 1.
You will hear a conversation between two friends, Ayan and Pratima. Ayan is visiting Mumbai, where Pratima lives. First, you have time to look at questions 1 to 3. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 3. Hello, this is Ayan. Can I please speak with Pratima?
Hi, Ayan. Good morning. No, good afternoon. Nice to hear from you. How have you been?
Hi Pratima, I'm fine. What about you?
Same here.
I have the next Friday off, so I'm planning to come to Mumbai for a weekend trip.
Oh, that's great news. Let's meet over lunch once you land in the city.
I would love that.
Have you been to Mumbai before?
Uh, no. Actually, this is my first visit and I'm hoping you could help me plan my trip.
Sure, no problem. What is your flight schedule?
I have booked an evening flight to Mumbai for Thursday and then I have an early morning flight back home on Monday, which leaves me with 3 days to explore the city.
Great. It seems you have enough time to make the most of your trip. And where would you be staying?
Before you listen to the remaining part of the recording, you have 30 seconds to read questions 4 to 10. I have booked a hotel in Juhu because I wanted to be near the beach.
That's great. Juhu is one of the posh areas of the city, and it's pretty close to the major shopping districts and cafes. Not to forget the famous Juhu beach, where you can get some delicious pav bhaji.
The beach and the pav bhaji are already on my to-do list. What else is nearby?
There is Prithvi Theatre, named after the famous Prithvi Raj Kapoor, where you can go to watch a play. I think they are staging one of Shakespeare's comedies next weekend. There is also an open-air cafe and a small bookshop which you can visit.
Sounds great. I'll check their schedule online.
And since you are a first-time visitor, I'm sure you'd like to sightsee a bit. You have to see the Gateway of India, which is right next to the ocean. You can also go book a slot for some leisure sailing with the many boat clubs that have their stalls set up nearby.
Really? That sounds thrilling. I have never gone sailing before. But I hope it's safe because I don't know how to swim.
You will be in good hands, don't worry. These boating clubs are run by certified sailors with years of experience and expertise.
Oh, good. That sounds reassuring. I was also thinking of taking a road trip from Mumbai on Saturday and visit some of the less crowded, picturesque locales around the city.
Oh yes, you should. I can give you a couple suggestions and you can take your pick. Firstly, there is always good old Lonavala Khandala. The Twin Hill Resorts happen to be one of the best places to de-stress and relax. It's a lovely drive up to Lonavala Khandala amidst lush green hills, about 90 kilometers away from Mumbai. There are many places to visit there. like Duke's Nose, Korigad Fort, Tiger's Leap, Lohagad, Bushi Dam, Bedsa Caves and Lonavala Lake. If you're feeling adventurous, you can also go camping and trekking. But always remember to carry your umbrella, raincoat and rain shoes. It rains very frequently over there.
That sounds so enticing. I feel like dropping everything and running there right now. What are the other suggestions?
Next is Matheran. Perched atop the Western Ghats, Matheran is one of the oldest hill stations located about 83 kilometers away from Mumbai. The vibrant green pastures, serene and quiet environment makes Matheran a perfect weekend retreat. A ride on the Neral Matheran toy train is a must as it snakes its way through the Ghats. Simply walking around Matheran and trying out local Marathi cuisine is extremely refreshing. My final suggestion is Alibag. Located around 95 kilometers away from Mumbai, Alibag can be reached either by road or via ferry. It is a coastal town in the Konkan region and is the perfect place if you want to try out water sports or simply laze around on the pristine sandy beaches of Alibag or Varsoli. If you are interested in some history, then Alibag will give you a taste of that too. It has the remains of a 17th century island fortress, Colaba Fort, an old Portuguese fort called Corlai Fort, and the grandiose fortress of Murud Janjira. So, which one would you like to visit?
Oh, wow! Now I am entirely confused. They all sound wonderful, but unfortunately, I don't have time for all of them. I think I will go to Lonavala Khandala. I'm craving a quiet vacation with a view of the hills.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
Before you listen to the audio, check questions 11 to 20. You have 30 seconds for this. So Sakshi, what are you planning to do after finishing school?
I'm hoping to study medicine because firstly, it's been my dream since childhood. And secondly, if you have a degree in medicine, you won't be unemployed ever. But the tough part is getting into a medical school. And I'll need a good AIMPT score.
How confident are you about it?
Well, I can't say I'm confident, but I might get a good rank. And my parents would be very sad if I didn't.
Why on earth should your parents be very sad if you didn't get into a medical school? There are so many other options.
Because both of them are doctors and highly successful in their career.
I don't have a problem. My parents no longer live together, and they are too busy with their own problems to worry about me. But I'm sure you worry about your future. Yes, I do. And for that reason, I've worked real hard for entrance exams. And I'm hoping to do well enough to get into a top university.
What subject?
Economics?
Why economics?
Because after graduation, I hope to do masters from a good B school. And I would like to specialize in finance. And what about you, Amandeep?
First, I thought I'd get into computers. But after studying computing in 12th grade, I feel it's not my cup of tea. I'd like to study modern history. I think humanities offers a broad education on world affairs and history is my first love.
But from the point of view of employment...
It's not totally hopeless either. One can think of public administration or academics. Also, It's less competitive to get in.
But Aman, you don't have to worry about grades. I'm sure you will do very well.
Yes, I really don't think I'll do too badly. And Kabir, what about you?
I've taken entrance tests at a number of engineering colleges in Bengaluru. I'm aiming to join one of them and study mechanical engineering. Hopefully, I'll make it. You see, I love making things with my hands. My room is bursting with contraptions made out of DIY kits. I didn't know you're leaving Delhi so soon. Well, my dad works for a private bank and we are moving back to our native place, Bengaluru, when his tenure ends next month.
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3.
You will hear two students discussing a poster presentation.
Firstly, you have some time to read questions 21 to 25.
How's the poster presentation going, Hannah?
Well, I've made a start, but can you help me with the PowerPoint, please?
Yeah, okay. Have you created a folder yet? That's the first thing to do.
I've done it already, but what's the next step?
Well, what size would you like the poster to be?
I tried putting these 4 sheets together to make one big sheet, but it's still too small.
Okay, well, the paper size is automatically set to 36 high by 48 wide, but the maximum width is 60. You can select it under Page Setup.
No, 48's fine. That's plenty big enough.
Have you decided on a title yet?
Yes, it's No Footprints.
Right, well, type it into the box at the top. Now you need a large font size for the title, a minimum of 96 points, and the main text should not be less than 26 point, maybe 48 for secondary headings.
Can I change the colour of the background?
You can, but don't overdo it. White is fine.
How do I insert my text?
It's easy, just cut and paste it from your essay.
And can I insert images in the same way?
Have these been scanned in, or were they taken with a digital camera?
There's mostly photos that I've taken and copied into My Pictures.
Let's see. If I click on this picture of a wind turbine, then paste it in and resize it, okay?
Yes, will it look all right, or do you think it's a bit small?
No, it's fine. Just make sure your images are no smaller than 50k in size, otherwise they'll look grainy on the poster. You know, pixelated. JPEGs look best.
That's great, Paul. I'll carry on now, thanks.
I'll pop back in a while to see how you're getting on.
Now you have some time to read questions 26 to 30.
I see the poster's taking shape now, Hannah.
Oh, hi, Paul. I've got all the text in now and done some editing. What do you think of it so far?
I like the piece in the middle box about offsetting emissions. Where did you get that from?
Off a web page.
Okay, fine, but you'll still have to cite it in your references.
Where should I do that?
At the end, in the final box on the template.
Do you like the picture of the carbon cycle? It's from an old school book.
Yes, I like the colours. It stands out very well. but I think you should move it and attach it to the introduction.
Okay, that's a good idea. I'll move it straight away. Now I need to insert this table showing carbon emissions for different types of personal transport based on official government figures.
Well, just hold on a moment. Have you saved your work yet?
No, I better do that first. I don't want to lose anything.
Right. Now use the paste special command so it imports the table as a graphic file. This is going into the second box, is it?
No, the next one after it.
Yes, that looks very neat, but can I make a suggestion?
Yes, go on. What is it?
Well, you haven't put your name anywhere. You can put it below the title, though in a smaller font, obviously.
Okay, I'll do that.
And it would look more professional if you inserted the college logo.
Well, where can I find it?
Try the college's homepage. Put it in the top two corners, then you're just about done.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
You will hear a university professor giving a seminar about the history of diagrams.
Firstly, you have some time to read questions 31 to 40.
Good morning. I'm Professor Menzies, and I've been asked here today to talk about diagrams. By way of introduction, I'd like to run through the history of diagrams from the earliest times, mainly because we need to be clear about what we mean by the word diagram, as opposed to other similar terms such as picture, illustration, or sign. Historically, it's important to make these distinctions because, for example, rock art can be traced back tens of thousands of years, as in the depiction of wild animals in cave paintings in Europe, or in Aboriginal rock art. These probably reflect early man's respect for animals, or have religious significance. Either way, images like this are not classed as diagrams, only pictures or illustrations. Similarly, we can also discount the hieroglyphics carved into stone in Egyptian writing, where pictures were used to indicate words or sounds. We still use pictures to convey messages today, for example, traffic signs to indicate speed limits, but pictures like this are not classed as diagrams. Instead, a diagram is a drawing showing a relationship between the objects in the diagram. An early example of a diagram can be found in Pythagoras' theorem of around 500 BC. In this theorem, the square drawn on the longest side of a right-angled triangle has an area equal to the sum of the squares on the other two sides. 300 years later, another Greek mathematician, namely Archimedes, also a scientist and astronomer, drew numerous diagrams associated with his many theories, ideas, and inventions, which are still abound today. For example, Archimedes used geometric drawings to calculate the mathematical constant pi, the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. Another well-known type of diagram is the map. Maps can be traced back over 500 years. The Wikipedia dictionary defines a map as a diagrammatic representation of an area of land or sea showing physical features, cities, roads, etc. For example, a street map. The inclusion of axes and coordinates in maps and charts had to wait until the 17th century, invented by Descartes. In the modern era, we still think of diagrams in terms of maps, charts, and graphs, but also any drawing that aids the comprehension of complex information by displaying it in a visual way. In the mid-19th century, the British nurse Florence Nightingale used a diagram resembling a pie chart to great effect when depicting the causes of mortality of injured soldiers. Mathematicians employ a wide range of diagrams, particularly in geometry and statistics. Examples include graphs, histograms, Venn diagrams, tree diagrams, and box and whisker plots. So I think it's fair to say that a high proportion of diagrams are linked to mathematical data, but not exclusively so. Flowcharts are one of the better-known non-mathematical diagrams. They were invented in the 1920s and gained popularity in the 1960s with the development of simple computer programs consisting of a set of stored instructions, which is why we're interested in them today. The elements of a flowchart are a series of boxes linked by lines and arrows. The reader starts at the top box and works downwards, or sometimes sideways, or even loops back to the original box, depending upon the instructions in the box. Flowcharts enable the reader to make the correct decision in response to questions that require either a yes or a no answer. Typically, a flowchart ensures that the correct procedures are followed in business practice, or that the correct sequence of operations are adhered to in a manufacturing process. All flowcharts use a set of geometric shapes, for example, oval-shaped boxes to indicate the start and the end of a flowchart, rectangles to enclose instructions stating what action needs to be taken, diamond shapes for decision boxes, whether the question has a yes or no answer. Lines with arrows extend from the decision box to direct the reader to the next piece of information or process to be carried out.
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
So guys, don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test and speaking, you got guesswork. Please guys, participate in everyday new IELTS listening and reading practice tests to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. For more IELTS material, visit my official website www.ieltsupdatesandrecentexams.com. The link is given below in the description. If you need PDF files of latest IELTS material, then please join my Telegram channel. So guys, please write your score below the comment section. Again, thanks for listening. God bless you all guys. Stay tuned, stay safe.